10:59 Tuesday, March 24th, 2023. What gets me the most is for so long I have been the backbone to a lot of people, and I was putting my own self to the side to make sure that others were okay. I started taking back, my energy and focusing on myself so that I can build myself back up to be where I'm at right now, and I'm still learning and I'm still growing. What I don't appreciate is how people come into my space and then I express what it is that I need, and like I barely be asking anybody for anything. And as soon as I open up and I start expressing what's going on with me, or just putting it out there about how their actions have, ultimately affected, my way of feeling comfortable enough to open up and express what it is that I need from people, I get disrespected. I get hung up on. I get told, oh, you're being extra, you're being too much. But every time someone brings a problem to me, I go and handle the situation, you know what I mean, and get to the root of the problem and try to, be the mediator to shit. I notice I don't have anybody mediating and standing and holding a space for me. So, with that being said, I don't want nobody around me that doesn't have empathy, sympathy, or compassion. I don't want nobody that's every time it's something that they're going through and they need me, they expect me to have all of this empathy, sympathy, and compassion for their situation. And as soon as I express the little things that I freaking need, oh, it's a problem. Tonight was the last night that I will ever be disrespected by anybody. I don't care who it is, family, lovers, friends, associates at work, whatever it is. I'm good off of anything that anybody could come to me to ask for my help from. Don't come to me for no type of advice. Don't come to me to show up to be the fucking knight in shining armor or none of that. Because me saying what I felt, meaning when I did ask for help in the past, in the recent past, and express, oh, I need to be able to have someone to come so that I can have, someone watch my children. Oh, that's not my responsibility. Those are your children, this and that and this and that. Okay, cool. So I went to another alternative. The alternative that I had, the person didn't even give two flying fucks for real, only came in for their own selfish gain and to keep monitoring, watching me because they already had in the place them stealing from me and trying to kill me. I asked my own child before he even got to that point, can you come and watch your sisters or whatever while I, go to work or whatever so that I know that there's someone here that I can trust with them? Instead of coming, my son, he wants to go downtown and be hanging around with all of these people that don't mean him no good, that's getting him into that he's getting into trouble with, being around negative influences. So that was his choice. He'd rather go spend his time down with the people that don't mean him no well. When I've been here, I've been helping financially, emotionally, being emotional support. And it's not about what I do for people, because if I do it, I'm doing it because that's what I want to do, because that's what, fulfills my heart. But I see that me opening up and saying that that's something that I had needed, and then as soon as my mom come over here and she's the one that's watching my children, well, why would you call her over here? Because you already know she did bop 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 bop. And it's like, I asked you first, you know what I mean, to avoid all of this shit. I asked you first. You showed me that that's something that you wasn't interested in doing, so okay, I had to go to a different route. I'm always going to go to the next best thing that will be conducive for myself and for the person that's involved, because I was even willing to pay my son to sit with his sisters while I went to work. He opted to go downtown and hang out with his friends and all this other stuff. Now I'm in a situation where I need help. He calls me to check on me because some things transpired the other day where now it's like, okay, I have to figure out how I'm going to, deal with this situation. I want to go to work still, but I still at this point, because I don't have family that I can trust, that I know that when I leave they're not going to be poisoning my children or abusing them mentally or physically, or emotionally. I don't have anybody over here. The closest person that I have over here are my children, my oldest son and my two youngest daughters that I have here with me. He calls me to check up on me about the situation that took place the other day. I'm dealing with it the best way that I can. But as soon as like I opened up and started saying like, okay, well, when I did express my needs, it went on deaf's ear. So it's like, why even bother to say what it is that I need, because my needs never get met. So I gotta do this by myself. As I'm in the middle of expressing this, my son hung up on me. I'm not jealous that he's, living his life. Like, I am very proud of him. I'm very proud of the growth and expansion and him moving up in another level, getting paid at, at a job, getting hired on to a company that is paying him more than his previous jobs and things like that. And it's a lot less strenuous, tedious work that he has to do. I am very proud of him. I don't want to take anything away from his growth and expansion. If anything, I'm in the cheerleading section rooting him on to continue to move forward. I'm glad that he stopped hanging around certain people that he was hanging around that are doing the same thing continuously on a daily basis, still doing the same shit they was doing last year, the year before that, and so on and so forth. I'm not a hater, but tonight it just let me know, and it just showed me how much of a lack of empathy that he has for my situation. Because like he told me before, those are your children. That's your responsibility. And he's absolutely correct. Just like he's my child. He's older now, but I know because of where I've been at in my life, I haven't been there for, certain parts of his life, but I'm grateful and thankful that I'm able to be here for the parts that, matter the most. And I wouldn't change any of that for anything in this world. But as soon as I started like pointing out to where when I needed him back then, he told me that they're my responsibility. But then he says to me in this moment, I'll come get them, from time to time. Because I said, I don't even get a self care day for myself. I'm constantly with them, which they're my responsibility. So I'm going to do what I got to do. He's like, it's not going to be every day. I'm like, I didn't ask for it to be an everyday type situation, you know. But at the same time, it's like, on Christmas, for example, he calls me up, tells me he needs my help because him and his girlfriend are going through it. I drag me and the two youngest girls over to his place to pack up all of his girlfriend's things to take all the way across town. You know, I could have been here with my two youngest and just chilling, but because he needed me, I showed up with no problem. And then when it was all said and done, he just left and went to go hang out with her friends. That was more important, you know? So I've been evaluating a lot of situations that have transpired thus far, and I notice where a person's intentions are and where they'd rather be. So if you'd rather be there, okay, cool. I'm still have to live my life. I still have to do what I have to do, and I still have my responsibility. So I'm going to do that. But on his end, he doesn't look at the fact that I didn't have to go. I chose to go and to help him because that's the much empathy, sympathy, and compassion that I have for his situation to help him. And you know what? After all of that bullshit of going through all of that, packing up the stuff, being there to his emotional support, he winds up right back with the young lady. I'm not upset about who he chooses to be with. What upsets me the most is when I need someone and a shoulder to lean on or, some type of advice or support, I don't have anybody that genuinely, truly, wholeheartedly has my back in the situation. So, with that being said, I'm washing my hands of opening up myself to be readily available to jump to help somebody else, because tonight just showed me how much a person really gives a damn about what it is that I'm going through. It's just something to talk about if I really look at it like realistically. It's not that you genuinely want to help me or genuinely want to show up for me, because if that was the case, in the middle of me expressing my need and how I felt, and how I feel about everybody else that comes to me needing my help, needing my support, needing my advice, needing my attention, I've always showed up for people with no expectations. But as soon as I freaking express what it is that I need, I get hung up on. I'm tired of being disrespected. I'm done. I'll handle this. I've been strong for myself and everybody else in this situation. And since I've left from home and moved over here, I've been thugging this shit pretty much by my damn self. Yes, I've had my children with me, but when it matters the most, when it comes down to the hard and tedious shit, I've been thugging this shit by myself. I haven't asked for much. I haven't asked for nothing. About the only thing I said that I might have needed was a motherfucking little bit of bud to smoke to keep my motherfucking mental. And I don't even really smoke bud like that no more. So I've been trying to do this shit on a sober tip, and I pat my own self on the back because I've been doing this shit by my lonely without feeling like I gotta bring my problems and my burdens and my responsibility on anybody else. I'm going to keep handling my responsibility. I'm going to keep on taking charge in my life the way that I need to. I'm going to keep on making sure that my bills get paid. I'm going to keep on making sure I keep my roof over my head. I'm going to keep on making sure that I keep food in my children's mouths. I'm not letting none of this shit harden my heart. But what I will do is continue to protect myself, my space, and my sanity. I've been disrespected for the last time tonight. March 14th, 2023. This is the last time that anybody will ever get a chance to come and disrespect me in any form. I'm over it. Word is bond. No more. The level of disrespect, and it's not the first time that he's hung up on me and me trying to get through and, trying to, make sense of situations or bring resolutions to shit. Like, I remember when the people had him cornered off downtown in the daggone transportation center. Who did he call? He called me because he know I'm going to show up and I'm going to handle the situation. Who do I have to call when I'm going through something? Absolutely nobody, because as soon as I open up my mouth to express my need, I get disrespected and I get hung up on, I get ignored, I get left on red and all types of stuff. I'm not doing it no more. I'm over it.